7 Eastern on TSN. Hockey lives here.
It's all on the line. The women's 10-pin final. $10,000 going to the winner. Will it be Calgary's Erin Quinn or Melody Savage from Stonewall, Manitoba? And it will be Erin Quinn to throw first. She bowled that 195 in eliminating Carrie Ryan Kayak.
We will see if nerves come to play in this match. Nothing shabby about second spot, $5,000. Everybody wins. Doesn't mean they all go home happy, but they win. $4-7 on the left-hand side. There's the little push away, straight over the top, and inside. The ball jumped a little bit. An open for Melody Savage to face right here, right now. The Manitoba winner, who had a 188 to get here. Steps back right at the end of the approach, about 16 feet from the foul line. Takes full advantage of it, runs it up, and
oh my.
A little bit light. 4 pins remain standing. 2, 4, 8. And then the 5 right in the center there, so you better get back. Lines up straight at the target. We'll put the speed to this ball.
And drives it right through for the spare.
That's a tough spare, particularly when you're playing like this right at the start of the match, because you do have to get the ball driven right to the back end of it. Pick up that back row of pins. It's funny, we tell people to aim the ball at the closest pin to you, and then if we're making a shot like that, we tell them to shoot for the back row of pins.
In fact, you want to focus on that back end, don't you?
Yes, you do, because you've got to execute to go straight back through. More speed on this ball.
Oh, goodness gracious, and a great tap, a late tap, a lucky tap maybe on that 7.
I'll tell you what, this is a disaster shaping up here, but it got carried over right there. There's the ball hitting in. Look at this. That top of the pin just hit the bottom just enough. Marvelous. Single pin sitting up there in the lane. Supposedly a routine shot. One of the hardest shots that pros will tell you to ever happen or ever need to make is the 5 pin, because you're so confident you're going to make it. Showing pretty good composure here today, actually. Got the baby finger underneath. Hits the ball out down the lane a little bit further.
Very nice. She comes back with a strike after that open to start things off. Erin Quinn. Erin Quinn is from right here in Calgary. Melody Savage from Stonewall, Manitoba. And one of these bowlers will take home the first prize, $10,000, and the title of 10-pin Canadian champion. And Quinn with a strike up in 2.
Her mother has done a lot of work with the youth bowlers, and one of the things that she has told people in the past is keep your composure, and certainly Erin has shown it here today, and she needs it after this kind of a shot. Now, she'll try for this, because you have to get on the right-hand side of the closest pin to you and hope that it'll skid over there and pick up the left-hand corner pin. Straight through.
Oh boy, nearly. But it's an open.
Ball going right over here, not quite enough, but you see the pin almost hitting it. It went all the way just past it. A little bit more angle and might have just made it. It's a long ways across over there. The pins are a foot apart, center to center.
Melody Savage in that win over Kim Green was able to string together some strikes, timely strikes. And this time gets a little nudge, but doesn't bring down the 7.
There's her coach.
Michael Schmidt has been coaching her out of Manitoba, of course.
He's pretty serious watching her, and he was giving her some good points just at the break there. You know, sometimes what it is, it's something you've done 100,000 times, let's say, over the course of the many 30 years that these bowlers have played. But you just need somebody like him to stand there, or Jack Way, and stand there and say, take your time and keep your composure, keep it cool, and just keep it going. Now she's got 3 marks in a row, and it's such a change. Erin had a problem in the first frame and the third frame, and again, Melody has an opportunity right now. Watch as she swings this ball back, and then she'll come straight on through this thing.
Wow, great collapse. We'll see Michael Schmidt later in the men's play, and he's a former TSN Pins Game champion.
Watch this now as we have a single pin. There's the difference right at the moment in this match. And Melody's got the speed down to enough where she's getting some breaks. She's getting a little bit of a follow over of some of the pins, whereas if you drive it straight through, you don't get that action, and she hasn't missed yet. So that's the difference in the match right at the moment. 57 in the third and 6 count in the first frame. That was a pretty good setup. When she made that first shot there for the spare shot, that really set the tone for her, because she's had 3 consecutive 9 counts.
And Erin Quinn, by comparison, has had 2 opens in 3 frames, trying to get something going here. She was very late with her last ball in the last frame, and here that's just an ugly split.
Well, that's quite a surprise, and it's a little disappointing for her because she put the ball out where she wanted it, but she's inside of the track on there, like you have the curling where you get the roll of the ball of the rock on the ice. And look at this, you pebble the ice, you oil the lanes, and right now she has not quite followed the track. She's got 46, certainly has the room to start a string of strikes, get herself right back into it. You notice it all there. She's got 1 mark in the game, but Erin has done well to get this far, and she's still well into the game. All she needs to do is relax, get it out there now, swing the ball. That's better.
There it is. That's good for her. That should help the confidence, and then staying relaxed is one of the things that she says is a key for her.
Her brother Michael is a bowler. Her mother, as we mentioned, helped in the youth bowling for so many years. We're so appreciative of that. There's Michael on the left-hand side there with the long sideburns. Elvis is look out. And there's Nori right beside him, the lady in the red. Melody Savage going up here right now, looking for another mark. Again, a single pin, but she's not getting herself into trouble, which is the key on it, because she had the 1 spare in there with the 6 count, but everything else would be 9-9-9.
Right. Yeah, but no, she also had the 5, that same pin in the second, and she managed to convert it. Why is this such a tough pin to get, did you say?
Well, the ball has to, the right hand of the ball has to go the 1, the 3, and the ball has to take out the 5 pin. And if you don't take out the 5 pin, then everything else, she's lucky that's what's being left up. But the ball's the one that takes it out.
So another conversion, and that's 5 straight spares, 76. It's a 30-pin lead for Melody Savage through 4, but it is a strike up for Erin Quinn, spare for Savage.
Erin has the opportunity to tighten the gap up a little bit. And this is where you and I have talked about it so many times, is that if you're trying to keep into the game, keep getting those spares, and the strikes will fall in line sooner or later. She's bowling well enough. She's averaged 197 in the 3 games. Again, 9 count. And she's getting a little frustrated.
Tell you what, though, that ball took a late movement to get that head pin because it looked like it might even go by.
Well, she's maybe making a bit of an adjustment. You can see it right there.
Really thin.
Really thin, really light on the head pin. And still carried all of the pins, so she's getting the action. All she has to do is stay with it all the way through. She's getting a bit of a break, too, in the fact that Erin Quinn has given herself a couple of tough breaks with the splits or the opens that she's had. But right now, working on a strike. You know, we talked about it, how one of the opponents let their opponent in the back door because they had opens at the wrong time, and then they saw their opponent turn right around and bang, 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 strikes in a row, and Erin Quinn could do exactly the same thing. So Melody cannot ease up.
It's tough. You know, Erin Quinn in that game against Kerry Ryan Kayak, she was able to string together some spares. She had 4 of them in a row. Now, granted, she had some strikes, you know, dropped in every once in a while for her 195. I can't see a run of spares winning this. Again, we have to remember what Erin Quinn does. I mean, if you drop in and open every once in a while, those spares would probably do it for you.
Well, and this is a tough spare shot for her because she's struggling a little bit, and she's outside. This time around, got it real well.
Very nice.
She's outside a little bit of her timing, and as a result of that, she's actually given a little bit of a break to Melody. But you're right, normally spares won't do that. That shot, the ball went straight right into the back pin. Excellent.
So it's 29 pins, the difference. Both bowlers with spares up in 6.
See, this is maybe where, you know, she was doing a different ball when she was doing the 203, the 214, and now she's switched equipment, and then all of a sudden, maybe not quite getting the reaction she wants. And this is a gamble you've got. Like you've talked about it. You have only one game. You've got to make a move, and you live with what you've done. She needs to make certain of this corner pin. Cannot afford any more opens. 85 in the 6th against a potential 115. Melody Savage is keeping her game clean all the way through. And as much as that's not normal that you would see somebody win a title with 9s, 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 as long as you don't get a disastrous split, you should be okay. Nice and smooth with the release.
Really full, and that's a big break again.
Well, see, this is the difference right now. She is getting the breaks, and we saw an example in one of the matches where one of the ladies got a little bit frustrated because she wasn't getting anything going right. Melody, on the other hand, is out for a ride here today, just having some fun getting the pins down. Look at this break. The pin from behind took it out.
And she gets the 9 for another spare. That is 7 straight spares, and it's still a 29-point lead for Savage.
She's had the 5-pin a couple of times, a 7-pin, and she's had the 2-pin up twice and the 9-pin. So Melody's had a variety of spare shots. Now, if she's going to do anything, maybe she might move her toes a little bit, but she's playing conservatively and doing it well. So at this stage of the game, she's in strong.
There's their first strike, and it comes in the 8th.
That's an important strike because it sort of sends a message to Erin Quinn that I'm not finished by a long shot. I'm here right now. You're going to have to win this by striking out, Erin, and a strike like that will certainly set the tone. I'm pretty proud of what this young lady has accomplished. She's been bowled up.
There it is, and she matches it. That's responding to the pressure. Erin Quinn.
You notice that she matched by having the pin come from behind as well. That's coincidental.
Because it looks full here, doesn't it?
Goes right in there, but see this? She whips it out a little bit more speed, a little deeper in this time, but see the pin from behind. The butt of it hits the bottom of the other. So 134 to 105 Both bowlers having a strike up. Erin Quinn is in the setup frame here, the 9th frame. Not
10.
to be.
10. Difference is still 29 pins through 7.
The 10 pin is the one that hurt her there right now. She has to make certain that she picked it up. She did practice during the preliminary rounds. She was practicing these corner pins. Has done very well with the spear shots. Melody Savage can wrap this stranglehold up pretty good here. Should she get another mark up here, get another strike up here, she's got a potential of 164 if she gets a strike and then matches it up. So it's really good to see. And she's checking it out, wisely checking the scoreboard. 134 in the 7th, strike up. A critical 9th frame for Melody Savage. I don't think either one of the women are thinking about the 10,000 points.
Wow.
That is a show of championship form.
She needs 4 pins to lock out Erin Quinn. 4 pins to win $10,000 and her 2nd championship in 3 years. 4 pins, and there's our champion, Melody Savage.
3 consecutive strikes and 164 in the 8th, and she has potential of 224. The best that Erin can do is 175. Melody Savage put on an excellent display of staying relaxed. 7 consecutive spares, 3 strikes in a row, and has a chance here for another couple.
Seen that too often.
But at this stage of the game, she's quite comfortable because she knows she's won it. She's got $10,000 going into her pocket to take home to Manitoba. So Chateau Lanes. Hey, Mike, did you notice that both the champions, the lady 5-pin bowler, came from Manitoba?
Mm-hmm. Sandy Anderson also won. So, 2 championships in 3 years. And Erin Quinn, it's a young lady I think we're bound to see a lot of in the future.
Well, she's showing a lot of poise in the match. There's a perfect example. She just gets up now and get a little bit more speed into it. Got a beautiful strike in there. She'll work on her game as she has done. I mean, she has really come a long way. She's averaged 198. And, you know, married now to Jeremy and mechanical engineer. She'll do some designing on her game and watch what happens. Hey, not bad. She gets $5,000.
Not at all. Not very. She'll leave that 10. She'll remember some of these corners, I think, for a while. But it was the opens. You know, she had 4 open frames, or 3 open frames in the first 4. Then found her range. Just wasn't able to string anything together to catch up. She's always fighting from behind. Melody Savage from Stonewall, Manitoba, bowls at 212 to Erin Quinn's 165. Melody Savage is your champion, women's 10-pin play. She'll take home the $10,000.
The